I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I couldn't finish it. I couldn't finish it. I'm sorry. I couldn't. For the love of God, I just couldn't because it's so blatant bullshit. Turn this off. Fucking idiots. I've seen hand fisted before. I mean, I've seen blatant hammer it in, hammering it home concepts, and I gotta tell you, I have not seen this blatant use of children ever in Netflix's approved Cuties movie. Now, I'm not trying to advocate this because I said, I would watch it and see and judge for myself. I tried. I don't want to give money to this thing. I don't want to give this thing any positive attention whatsoever. But I tried to watch it, and I got maybe 20 minutes, half hour in. And the first time you see the girls, the twerk group that she ends up joining, they dress like a bunch of skanks. They dress like those girls that are trying too hard to look more adult, so they can feel more adult and independent and beautiful, so they can get past their awkward years. And it's like I I I I wouldn't even talk to those kinds of people. So I wouldn't approach them because they look like skanks. I'm sorry. There's no other word to put it. These are apparently all 11-year-olds, playing 11-year-olds in this, well, not exactly fictional story of 11-year-olds dressing like skanks and twerk dancing. And it's like, I try to even watch the cinematography. It's fine. It's shot like a normal film, you know. So the cinematographer is not the problem. I know that. But it's like the lead character just latched onto the first thing she saw as free. It's freeing. It's this expressive, non-repressive thing. And it's like, really? That's the first thing you come across? Twerking? Like I said before. And she just latches on to it because that's what she's drawn to. It's the first free thing she comes across. And she's there tying her shirt in a knot in order to make it more streamlined, more form fitting, even though she has absolutely no reason to because she's 11. And then she even goes so far as to take her little brother or sibling's shirt, which is like 3 sizes too small, so it's like really tight around her torso. And it's like, I was like, my God, this woman does not, this girl, this child does not know what the fuck they're doing, you know? And I get that children don't know and they do parrot or copy adult isms and the media. I know that. But this movie hammers it too hard, you know? Uh, Again, the kids in Florida Project act more like children, and those are like 8 to 10-year-olds. So they actually act like children. They're not trying to act like adults. They're just trying to have. They're just acting like kids trying to entertain themselves. Granted, they're not being oppressed. They're being what's that word for not necessarily poor. What's that word for kind of being poor or impoverished? I think it means basically being poor. You know, having a whole lot of money, so having a whole lot of resources, but they're not being oppressed in an overly judgmental form, like in Cuties. But or having expectations from your immediate superiors, your moms and your um, assorted religious groups. I don't know what it is. I didn't really bother to pay attention to that scene, but yeah, it would be a better film if the girls were older. That would have made a bit more sense. It'd be a lot more digestible, less unique. Okay, let's just say that less unique. Okay, but it'd be a lot more acceptable. I mean, just shit, man. It's like how would be hanging out with them would be anything but a bad idea. You know, there's self-expression, people. No one really gets that. What does your fashion say? What does your stance say? You know, was the expression on your not just look not people don't just express with just their face. They express with their whole body, their whole being. You know, how they stand, how they walk. You know, what clothes are they wearing? You know, all that says something, and not every person coming of age kind of does. They don't really get it until some years later. It's like, oh, so I shouldn't have worn my bikini top to that board meeting. Hmm. Well, it was 105 today, but I guess they frown upon that. It's like, how do you not get that? You know, it's it just gets a little head scratching, and it's it's intolerable to watch this fucking film because I know what they're trying to say. Yes, it's a third world country. Yes, these are children. They do not technically have a whole lot of parental supervision or guidance in any real shape, way, or form. But it just gets a little hard to watch when it's like, and it's twerking on top of that. It's like, that's God, no. It doesn't have to be that. You know, it could have been ballet. It could have been any other dance. It could have been, jazz or any other type of fast dance that there are many of today. But it had to be twerking because that's the first thing she comes across is twerking. It just feels like the premise is so forced, and it just gets more uncomfortable because they're young and the dance is twerking. It just feels it just feels uh, too much. It feels like a Captain Planet episode, where it's all just hammered in. You get it? This is uncomfortable. Are you uncomfortable? Yes, I am uncomfortable. You don't have to keep, like shoving in our faces. Are you uncomfortable? You should. It's like, yes, we get it. The concept. We get the concept. If that's what they're going for, because I don't know what the fuck else you're going for in this one, kid, because trying to show that it's like, and it's okay to, even when you are that young. No. Again, it doesn't have to. That's the things with plots these days, even the extent of even Marvel. That it has to. This has to happen in order for this to happen. We have to make it this way in order for that to happen, in order to get this ending. So we gotta bend it over backwards like a pretzel in order to get it to work. And for general audiences too. So trust me, there's a lot of forced concepts in a story, and it's like, could we not do the forced concepts? So from Marvel to Cuties, it just gets annoying where it's like, oh no, how would we do this? That bullshit and third act breakup, and then more bullshit, and then they win. And it just gets annoying. But Cuties is just unwatchable. I'm sorry. It's just too blatant in its message of what it's trying to show of not even feminine independence. It's just supposed to be independence. But it doesn't work because you're a child. What do you know about independence? What do you know about hardship. It, it's just it just shows kids, you know, just trying too damn hard to be adults or what they perceive to be adults, and it just looks like a walking mess. When a child walks in, they dress it up and he looks like, you know, a doll with lipstick and all that stuff, wearing mommy's pearls, in high heels that they don't know how to walk in. It Yeah, that could be cute in a baby, not baby, but like your childhood video thing. Yeah, sure, okay, might be cute. But when you have an 11-year-old trying to dress like an adult, a sleazy adult, yeah, that's like, it's very, very off-putting. I just cannot take this movie seriously. I cannot. I just can't finish it because it's going to try and paint this in a positive light that she won her independence, that she showed the world that she can torque very well, that this dance group can torque very well. They're the underdogs. It's like, okay, if you're going with that, again, this is just, it doesn't, this none of this movie has to be that way. There's nothing forcing it to be that way. You know, there's no grand prize to be won that I'm aware of because I didn't finish the damn thing. There is no sick family member. There's no driving force behind it other than she's kind of oppressed, and she stumbles across the first fucking thing she comes across, first freeing thing, and she latches onto it. You know, so quite frankly, it just comes across as a stupid movie that's incredible, that has decent cinematography. That's it. I don't know what to say. I feel like I'm going in fucking circles. It's Netflix. If you're watching, just fucking get it off there. Give it its bare minimum, contract or whatever, or break it or whatever. But just don't keep this on longer than it should be, or necessary. Just just fucking get it off there. And that, and that's it. I'm gonna try to wash this taste of bad story out of my mouth here with some nice refreshing water. I I drank all my Pepsi unfortunately earlier before watching the movie, so yeah. Uh, Maybe I'll get to watching that behind the scenes making of the first episode of Breaking Bad. Maybe that will help cleanse the palate. So until next time, fair faithful viewer. Oh, and by the way, yes, I did make the memoriam for my mom, but my relatives did not want me to put that on social media, so it will not be shown here or on Facebook. Yeah. So I will probably do an abbreviation of my about my mom maybe. So there might be that. I don't know. September isn't over yet. So uh, that's all I'm gonna say about that. Until next time, fair faithful viewers, take care, and remember, we're all gonna look back on this and laugh like we've done with every other apocalyptic moment we've come across. See ya.